Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, college football edition. That's right. You heard it. College football. We are back with the weekly college football segment with the captain, Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am great. It just feels so good to get back and talk about college football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Technically, week 0 starts this weekend, and then week 1 is the following weekend after that Labor Day weekend. So we have a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're going to be talking about our hometown team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Going to talk about the rankings and then preview the season. For the couple years me and Byron have been doing this, we try and find the trap game early in the year. So we're going to be doing all that. But first, we're just going to wind it back. Quick recap. Since we've been gone, Byron, there's been a lot of stuff happening in college football.
Too much stuff. Like, I can't remember what half of what has happened.
Let's start with our own conference. We're taking USC and UCLA. They're joining the Big Ten in the next couple of years, 2023, 2024, one of those 2 years.
I believe it's 2024 when the same year Texas and Oklahoma are going to the SEC.
And, just even starting there, man, it was weird because these California teams want to come play in snow in October.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, you think they would want to go to like a Big 12 or like maybe not even ACC because that's Atlantic Coast, so they get like hurricanes and snow there. But like Big 12, maybe. But yeah, to go to the Big 10 from California is wild.
Probably has something to do with another quick thing. The money deal came down last week. Big Ten signed a $7 billion what is it? Not marketing, TV deal with Fox, NBC, and CBS.
Yep, they didn't want to I should say ESPN didn't want to re-sign because they said 2.7 billion was not good enough.
So the Big Ten will be getting $1 billion a year for the next 7 years, and it's going to be the first time in a very, very, very long time that ABC or ESPN will not have a Big Ten game. I still don't know how to feel about that, especially now, like College Game Day, like then they really don't have a reason to come unless we just have a game they have to come. Like, I feel a little iffy about that.
Yeah, I like when they first announced like the TV deals, I didn't really think about like, oh, College Game Day is not going to be at Ohio State anymore. So like in 2024, like when we look at the schedule and it's like, oh, no potential College Game Day game, it's going to be weird as hell not to see the ESPN crew here.
Which is weird because if we go to 2024, 2025, we have a home at home against Washington. And then 2023, 24, we still play Notre Dame. And then 2025, 2026, we got Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's as far as the schedule goes now. But we also have our brother in arms with the Cedric Ware joining. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right. Can't complain. It's a nice, beautiful Wednesday evening. Excited for football.
Yeah, excited for football. But now just talking about like that, Byron, it's going to be weird going forward. No games on ABC, ESPN. But I mean, 7 billion. It's looking like the big Ten games are always going to be on Fox, big noon kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
College Game Day light. So
College Game Day light.
So then you'll have the 3:30 game on CBS, which is going to be weird because Brad Nessler and that other guy are going to be like, oh, we can't call the SEC the best conference anymore because we're not working for them. So
yeah, that's going to be weird not to see CBS have the SEC bias.
And then you'll have the NBC having the night game. So you'll have a 12, 3:30, 7:30. I want to ask both of you guys because with this deal, if you already have it, that's fine. But if you don't, are you going to get Peacock and Paramount Plus when they'll start having Big Ten games? Because the Buckeyes are going to be on one of those things.
Well, I already have Peacock because of WWE. And I actually also have Paramount Plus. So, I mean, hopefully they won't be on those networks. But if they are, I mean, I already have them.
You gonna share the password?
I can share the password for
Yeah,
sure.
for L7C purposes, because I ain't getting Paramount Plus just to watch Ohio State versus like Arkansas.
I'm sorry, like no offense to Peacock and Paramount Plus, but I still got Netflix taking my money. And if Netflix taking my money, man, there's only so much money I can give out to these streaming services. Y'all need to bundle up. That's all I gotta say, because I done heard Disney Plus and Hulu raising their prices. I'm like, dang. Y'all saw Netflix make that money grab. Y'all decided, like, hey, we need to get paid too.
Right. No, I agree, man, because people are talking about, oh, like the streaming services, you'll have some games on there just to get people to watch, because people will buy the streaming services to watch some football and then dump it when football is over and then get it back. So,
oh yeah, they did that with Red Zone.
Yep.
Exactly.
I do that with Hulu. Like I'll get it when college and NFL season is in full swing, and then once the Super Bowl is over, I get rid of Hulu.
Fair enough. But that's a lot of money. And we'll see if the Big Ten's trying to get more teams. We're getting closer and closer to just literally Big Ten versus SEC.
Like half of college football is either in the SEC or in the Big Ten.
Yeah, some people are like, "Oh, we're getting closer and closer to the North versus South." I was like, I don't kind of like that name. So
yeah, I don't either.
let's get off.
You can't even do that. Have to saying all these Western teams now. That's what's crazy.
I can't wait for USC to have to come to play in some snow. I cannot wait.
Man, I didn't. If you would have told me 10 years ago the Pac-12 or the Pac-10, the Pac-12 was not going to be a thing, really, I'd be like, yeah, right. What the hell are we going to do with the Rose Bowl then?
That's true. And money talks, man. I did see something that some people are trying to stop UCLA from coming because they didn't exit properly. So
I've seen that too.
I don't know if it's going to work, but I don't want UCLA anyway. They suck.
I mean, USC is not better.
But we get their basketball program, so that's good.
That's true. We get UCLA's basketball team.
Yeah, it's everything. It's everything.
Oh, well, no. Arizona State? Tell me Arizona State.
Yeah, Arizona is not. Yeah, it's so far just UCLA and USC. And you're right, Byron. USC has been trashed too.
I
mean, there's nothing.
UCLA's football team's not horrid.
They're not
better than it used to be. They used to be dupes.
I'm more excited for the basketball, but then that means
they have that one dude that looks like what's his face from All American. Yeah, that running back.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. I can't think of his name.
That is funny.
Chardon or whatever it is. I forget. I remember I saw his name. I was like, that's a fancy ass name. I hope he good, because otherwise, that's a fancy name to be saying all the damn time for not getting no stats.
But there'll be more to that, and we obviously have the whole season to talk about that. Let's get into the team that we follow, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They do not start off slow. September 3rd, night game, ABC, College Game Day, Ohio State versus Notre Dame. And just for the people who don't know the rankings, AP top 25, Alabama 1, OSU 2, Georgia 3, Clemson 4, Notre Dame 5, Texas A&M 6, Utah 7, Michigan 8, Oklahoma 9, Baylor 10. And they're pretty much the same on the coaches poll. So we have number 2 versus number 5 to start the season in Columbus. The same night they're doing the 20-year anniversary of the 2002 national championship team. So you're going to have Tressel there, Chlorred, all of those guys there. You don't start off bigger than this. Byron, Cedric, what are you guys thinking about our first game right off the bat with major playoff implications early?
I'm checking out that defense. Jim Knowles is our new defensive coordinator, replacing Kerry Coombs from last year. So my biggest thing going into the season is how does our defense look? Because that first game against Minnesota, like if that running back didn't get hurt, Ibrahim, yeah, we probably would have lost that game. So I'm looking to see how our defense is looking against a top 5 opponent to start the season.
Cedric, what are you thinking, man?
And I just pray we don't shit the bed. Because first games for us is always like a question of, well, are we good to go?
Mm-hmm.
And like last year was just, I mean, that we lost and they didn't even have their best player.
Oh, to Oregon?
So,
yep.
Like, I'm nervous, but like Byron says, going to have to start with the defense. Like, I think CJ Stroud has shown, like, look, like this offense can put up the points if you give us the chance. But shoot, I know Byron's gonna be watching because he got Kerry Combs fired, so he can get anybody fired.
That's true. If the Buckeye brass was listening to this podcast last year, Byron, you did have some words for Kerry Combs, and if they did listen, I'm glad they did, because we were one of the few media things, of anything, to say relax on CJ Stroud, and that turned out pretty well. I will never let that one go, because that's one of our best bets.
Heisman finals.
A great game for them. Smith and Jigma, 4 touchdowns. That'd be beautiful. I would love to see 4 receiving touchdowns. Like, I'm certain there's some names on that team that could get receptions, but my man been hustling, grinding, waiting for his. This is his time to shine as receiver 1 for this team.
Yep. Agreed. He's a preseason Heisman favorite as well, preseason All-American. I told Byron this, Cedric, and a couple of weeks ago, and Notre Dame now is, obviously I want Ohio State to beat them, but I wish we weren't playing them first, because with Marcus Freeman being their coach, an African-American who used to play at Ohio State, obviously, Byron, we've talked about how representation matters, so let's be honest. If you would have told me 10 years ago a black dude was the head coach of Notre Dame, I wouldn't believe you.
Yeah, I never thought like Brian Kelly would leave to LSU.
Well, he's a bitch. He left he's like, oh, I ain't never leaving. And then he leaves, and then all of a sudden he has I'm here with my family. Yeah.
Because I remember pressing this for a while. I'm so happy to be home. At least he ain't hit him with the howdy.
Like, he left on these like, oh, I'm never leaving. After they made the playoff, like, so seeing Marcus Freeman, like, being an African-American head coach at Notre freaking Dame, like, that's big for me. So I was like, I wish him all the success, just not in September 3rd.
Right.
Look, I'm not going to lie. You mentioning that, for his safety, I need them. They may need to beat us. Because you know if he loses that open, I'm pulling it, at least make it a good game. Because if Notre Dame is street against top 5 teams. Like, they either play really good, nice explosive pace, or they getting the doors blown off and wondering what the fuck just happened to us. Because if I'll tell you this, if their defense isn't ready, that first series, it's real quick. 21-0 is a real fast-paced game. Like,
yeah, I agree. If Notre Dame doesn't score their first possession, it might be over.
Man,
yeah,
they're gonna be looking for that brother's head. And I don't know what the rest of his staff looks like. I mean, I know he got some other, like that one other, like some other OSU faithfuls, but
yes, he does.
He need to have security squad, because we ain't gonna let this nigga get lynched in Columbus. They got us fucked up.
Yeah,
right.
They have All-American legend James Laurinaitis, who's one of Freeman's boys, joined the defensive staff. And I know first when that happened, I was bitching to Byron, like, wait, so James Laurinaitis wanted to help with the linebackers, a position at OSU that we are trash at, that he's a legend in, and we didn't hire him, and we let him go to Indiana for no. I was like, what are we doing here?
I've heard there were talks like with OSU and Laurinaitis, but So like Notre Dame offered him more money, which is weird to say.
Oh, so we try to get him on a you played for us discount.
Yep. Always
Yeah,
trying to get
basically.
that.
But we'll see,
Did
man.
you heard the Brian Day? We need more money for the NIL for these NIL deals.
13 million. He said that in front of people. We need 13 million
That's so wild.
to compete. I could imagine, man. Imagine the alumni. They're getting messages like, "Hey, you want to support the school? Donate to the NIL fund."
We kind of won a championship this year.
I'm just saying, man. It's a new. I know if you haven't listened to the episode, listen to the first year recap of NIL because it is crazy, man. Like it's such a game changer.
Yep, that one was really good. Had the panel of Byron, Sarah, and Dr. Chelsea Myers now. So, yeah, but thanks for the shout out on that, Cedric. Appreciate it. So, what do y'all think in this game? Like, Cedric, you mentioned it. The past couple of years are like, because this is the first game, like our second game against a top whatever team, we've lost. So, this is at home, 20-year anniversary of the O2 team. You know that place is going to be rocking. It's at night, game day.
That's what scares me.
Oh, that is game day?
What scares me. It's at night. It's at night. Like, God damn it. My goodness. Dude.
It's going to be rocking. And Paul Feinbaum talking that trash, saying that Notre Dame's going to get boat raced and they don't belong here. I'm like, so see, why are you giving bull material to the teams Ohio State's playing against? Calm down.
The last time they were all talking shit about the game day opponent, Baker Mayfield planted a flag, and I actually was like, oh, that's real. Like, I couldn't even be too upset with it. That's fucking real. Because he really came out like, all y'all voted against us. Well, y'all saw the game. And I was just like, yeah.
And he was busting our ass, too.
Yeah, he was.
Man got busted shoulder in NFL. But, man, he whooped our This is bad. I was at that college game day.
Yeah, you were with Mich and Kalen. Yeah, because I was in Indiana for a wedding. And I was watching it with Courtney's parents' dog, and he was the only one awake. I said, dang, Moose, we're getting smoked. And the dog just looked at me and continued watching. Shout out RP to Moose, man. But what are y'all thinking? Like, Cedric, I agree with you, man. If Ohio State, it could be 21-0 in 3 minutes.
I mean, I'm curious what Marcus has done with that team offense because Notre Dame's never been a slouch offensively. They've always been an offensively talented team. They always get good recruits. The biggest problem is their defense has been shitty, but you got to learn on it. So I would love to see us win the coin toss. And honestly, I want us to defer so we can stop.
You want to see the defense first. Okay.
Yes, a strong stop because we know we can score.
Yes.
Like, there's no question. Like, this is fucking Power 5, soon to be like Power 2, fucking college football. Offense is offense. You go and score. You need to stop somebody. So I say if we can stop them, score, limit them to field goals, like we don't need to be blowing their doors off at the beginning, but I just don't want, like, no easy touchdown. No easy touchdowns, no blown plays. I pray to God these defensive backs have been working because I know they throw the ball. I know they're going to throw the ball. I don't know too many Notre Dame teams that the quarterback doesn't sling it at least a few times. I think last time maybe in Miles Sanders, but even then, they slinging him out the backfield.
I agree, man. Well, obviously, both teams need to win, or someone's season for a national championship in the playoffs already in peril.
It's crazy. First game of the season, someone's playoff implications are in peril. But I think this game might come down to Who gets the last defensive stop?
Man, that means we're thinking this defense hasn't improved at all.
Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen Notre Dame's improved defense. I haven't seen our improved defense. I'm just going based off what happened last year defensively on our side. So we'll see. Like if our defense has improved, Jim knows you're amazing. If you change that defense around in 9 months. I saw something on Twitter that he said he's implemented 80% of his defensive scheme so far. So that's good to hear. So hopefully the linebackers and DBs are taking well to it. And like Cedric said, no easy touchdowns, especially with our D-backs.
You're right, Byron, and Cedric, you're right too, because the last time we saw the OSU defense, which was an instant classic game, we gave up 45 points to Utah. And we won on a last second, like the last play of the game.
Yeah, Noah Ruggles for a field goal from 19 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he missed that, we would have been going into overtime, and who knows who would have won that game.
So that's the last, and that defense was looking god awful bad.
Yeah, they scored 14 unanswered points in the first quarter.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping it was all Kerry Combs. No offense to you, Kerry, if you're listening, but damn it. We took you off the field, put you in the booth. Things are okay. Then we still getting shat on the defensive end. It's like, okay, now you gotta leave. Like you just gotta go. I'm sorry, Kerry, you gotta go.
Yeah.
It's not us, it's you, is what I'm trying to say at this point. It's not us, it's you.
So, I think OSU. So I like Cedric's thing in Jigbo with 4 touchdowns, so that'd be 28.
Mm-hmm.
I think then CJ will have one to Marvin Harrison Jr., so that's 35.
Mm-hmm. Maybe one to Mecca Ibuka, which I think is the number 3 this year.
Yeah. I see a 42-28 game.
That's beautiful.
That's what I'm seeing.
I can say 42-28.
Also, CJ has to come correct too, because there's people out here really ranking him below Spencer Rattler.
Every time I see that, it pisses me off.
Starting position.
Exactly.
That's man. The sad thing is, I don't mind since I think you have a cool name. That's really about it. But you lost your starting position, and then your coach left.
Don't get started on Lincoln Riley. Oh, no.
I love that he's gone because I really love to see him have to come to Big Ten.
Lincoln Riley will be coaching against the Big Ten since he's the coach at USC. One of the craziest deals I've ever seen a school.
That's what I'm saying. I love it.
Give a guy who's never won a title.
Right.
My man got a plane, 2 houses.
Mm-hmm.
His kids got forever scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Access to the private plane whenever he wants. But that's what I'm seeing. Let's start the Heisman campaign for CJ and Jackson in this game. Get a 42-28 win.
Last time we saw CJ, he threw 547 yards. Do it again.
Yeah, do it again. Before we go to other teams, because there is some other games on here, I want to stick with OSU a little bit. One of our things we do here on previews is try and find the trap game. So I'm going to read you guys off the games, where they're at, and the times, if they have a time. And then you guys just think about where could a trap game be? Because we haven't gone undefeated in almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if record shows, we will lose a game, just to who. So we've already talked about Notre Dame in Columbus night game. The next game after that, Arkansas State at Columbus, 12 o'clock at noon. The game after that, September 17th, Toledo, 7 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. Game after that, Wisconsin, who hasn't come to Columbus in a long time. That time is to be determined. It's going to be on Fox. Then you got Rutgers, October 1st. So all these games are at home. We don't go to an away game. Our first away game is October 8th at Michigan State. Time to be determined. Then after Michigan State, we have a team who hasn't been in Columbus a long time. Iowa in Columbus, time to be determined. After Iowa, we go to Penn State, Saturday, October 29th, to be announced. Then after that, Northwestern. to be announced time. Then Indiana, to be announced time. Then at Maryland. And then Saturday, November 28th, Michigan comes to Columbus, 12 p.m. on Fox. Where do you guys think a potential trap game for the Buckeyes will be this year?
All those to be determines always makes me nervous, like especially against Wisconsin, like time TBA. I think if maybe they go in the rankings, we could potentially see a night game if they're like ranked 10 or above by the time we play them on Saturday, September 24th. The game that always makes me nervous, whether they're unranked or they're ranked, is always at Penn State for the whiteout. That game always makes me nervous.
Oh, yeah, you're already thinking it's going to be a night game?
Yes. And those fans turn up for the whiteout.
Yes, they do.
Happy Valley. It's fucking Happy Valley. I don't trust that shit.
And that's on October 29th, the day before actually my birthday. So, ooh.
Yeah.
They better give you a good 30th. That's all I know.
I don't know, man. I could be having some Jello shots sitting there quiet.
Well, we know Junior will be talking if it happens.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Well, that's something, too. I know it's to be determined. That's nerve-wracking because if that's at night, that's really going to be scary. But mine, man, before that game, because obviously they're going to be thinking, is Iowa.
Yeah, I hate Iowa.
Yeah.
Last time we played Iowa, it did not go well for us.
Was that the game we threw 4 interceptions to that one guy?
Yeah. He's the starting corner for Green Bay.
Guy?
No, Jackson Johnson. He's the starting corner for Green Bay. I mean, JT Bear started the game with a pick 6.
Yeah.
That was those were rough times, man. But I think Iowa in Columbus. I don't know how good Michigan State's going to be. If they're really, and then obviously, I mean, Michigan, we can't overlook them because they ended our season last year. Our season in the playoffs.
Ended our season at Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
we owe them.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So I think Penn State and Iowa, especially back to back, that could be a little tricky.
When's homecoming?
Ooh, that's
against Rutgers, I think.
October 1st, ABC 3:30. Man,
I got a little nervous. I know they ain't trying to play us and put us in Wisconsin at homecoming.
Oh, God. Oh, well. At homecoming, that 24th, it's like, that's Capital University's homecoming. So then OSU's usually a week after. Yeah, so, the first. But those are going to be tricky, man, because I don't know if this team's going to go undefeated. History the past couple of years has showed me they're going to get their asses whooped one game in the regular season.
And it's always a game you least expect. Like, I don't think we were struggling at Michigan. Man, that's a 7 p.m. game too.
If we don't stop the mud shit out of Toledo, then I got questions.
Well, there was one game. Wasn't it this? Who did we play last year?
Last year.
It was, we were struggling a little bit. We're like, whoa, what the hell is going on?
It was Akron. Because that was a game that C.J. Stroud set out because of a shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm. He had to get right, and everything was forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, we'll see. We'll see. But just that Saturday on the 3rd, we're not the only ones whose implications are going to be on the line. Before you get to 7:30, 3:30, you have my favorite group, number 3 Georgia, the national champions.
Yeah.
Yep. Last time I had to apologize to them because I didn't think they could do it, and they did. So number 3 Georgia against number 11 Oregon, 3:30. So one of them, it's
man, that's gonna be a good game.
Mm-hmm. And that's the 3:30 game. There's also another 3:30 game from a Ohio team. You got number 23 Cincinnati going against number 19 Arkansas. Obviously, Cincinnati shocked the world last year and made the playoffs. So with our guy Luke Fickell, so hopefully they do well too. So you already got some ranked games, nice and early.
Man, they all the way at 23.
Yeah. Well, they had a lot of people. They actually had the most people drafted.
Mm-hmm.
No, but 23.
I know that is disrespectful. It's
Well, that's like you might as well be 25.
Well,
yeah.
not wrong.
That's how even if you like lose, like sure you lost to a higher ranked team, if you lose, someone's gonna jump you.
Yeah, if they lose, they're gonna be out the top 25.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just looking at Georgia's schedule. Their schedule is boo boo until like the SEC championship game if they make it. Because after Oregon, they play no ranked teams until like currently they're ranked number 20 Kentucky.
Oh, so they got the Alabama schedule.
I was gonna say that. It learned from Nick Saban. Listen, man, we tired of coming in here all hurt, battered, and bruised, having to play these motherfuckers every time in the SEC championship game, and then lose the SEC championship game.
Yeah, they got because Alabama starts the year. Well, we're playing Notre Dame. Alabama's going to be playing Utah State.
Of course.
And they're playing the same time as a 7:30. And then the second game they have against Texas, who Texas is trash. But the Alabama game that everyone needs to tune into, October 8th, Texas A&M, especially with the Texas A&M beat them last year. The smoke Jimbo and Nick have this year, like that's going to be a game. I'm glad we don't play anyone super duper crazy on that day. Oh, we play Michigan State. Well, I hope they're not good. Then I kind of want to.
Yeah, that Alabama-Texas game. I'm gonna say that's probably gonna be a night game with all the smoke that.
Oh, Texas A&M.
Yeah,
it's to be determined right now. So you're.
What network?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me see if they even have the network. That's to be determined, huh? Nani?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a night game. Because everyone's gonna filter slots during the day.
That game is going to be heat. Oh my gosh! Someone. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna shake hands.
What?
No. Jimbo said they're not cool no more.
He did. And shoot, if you want,
everyone's gonna be asking that too. Ooh.
And also, if you want to watch college football this week, there are some games this Saturday that will be on. Big Ten wise, Northwestern is playing Nebraska, and they are not playing in just some normal field. Byron, where are they going?
They are going to Ireland.
Don't ask how Nebraska and Northwestern got a game in Dublin, Ireland, but that's where they're playing.
At 12:30 this Saturday.
Was London booked?
I don't know if London was booked, but I don't know why they picked at all. I have no words why they picked those teams to go represent college football in Ireland. But hey.
Like you would think, like Notre Dame, because they're fine Irish.
Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. We're gonna be out there. This is gonna be a sea of green everywhere.
That shit would be wild. So we're ending it off. Cedric, Byron, at the end of the year, what is Ohio State? What are they? They're the conference champs. Are they in the playoffs? Do they win the whole thing? What are you guys thinking? As of right now, obviously this is going to change every week. But right now, preseason, before we go in week one, what are you guys thinking?
Last year, on their preview podcast, I say they were a playoff team, and they were not.
They lost twice. They lost at the beginning of the year and the end of the year.
And the end. Looking at the schedule this season, we already know there's going to be a trap game. I don't know if it's against Notre Dame. I don't think we're going undefeated. I see us as a 12-1 team going into the playoffs.
Okay. I like that. And what happens in the playoffs?
I'm going to say we make it to the championship.
All right. And then and then you'll decide if we make it to the championship who we're playing, and then you'll make your decision.
Yes.
Okay. I like it. Cedric?
So we think it's one. I think we'll go 12-1. I don't think we'll go undefeated. I pray to God we don't lose to Michigan again because I will honestly lose my mind because my brothers will talk so much shit and they'll think that this dynasty is coming back. I have to remind them y'all sucked for like 20 years, so it is what it is. But I honestly think 12-1 us, we make it up from the playoffs.
Oh.
Because I think we'll lose that trap game at a very inopportune time for us to where we'll drop, because unless it's against the ranked team, we will drop, and we know how the SEC loves to blanket and cushion everyone. And we'll be like right outside, like at 5 or 6, wondering what the hell can we do to get in to the actual like 4.
That's a really good one on you, Cedric, because we've said in our group messages, we've said on this podcast before, look, man, if Alabama and Georgia each only have 1 loss, they're both getting in. So that's already 2 spots.
Yep.
That's why you need the SEC teams. You need them to lose twice. So there's no chance they get in.
Yep.
So that's, God, now
it's like an orchestrated effort, though, over there. Because I'll tell you what.
It is.
And I don't give a damn. Alabama should have lost 2 games last season in that regular season because they were fucking losing to Auburn.
Oh my gosh! And Bryce
Young
let him.
Nick Saban made a phone call like, yo. We still trying to make the playoffs. We can't take this second L right now.
I think you were down here in Columbus for that game. I think we were watching it together.
I think I was there because I remember watching that boy limping. He was still serving up them boys.
Yeah.
And somehow things went back to like natural abilities. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, he wasn't tough because it was the same day as the Michigan-Ohio State game.
Yes, yep. Because we came back from that like, oh, we lost to Michigan. Maybe Alabama's going to lose too. No, Bryce Young just leads them from the 2, all the 98 yards to win the game after Auburn was doing. They won like it was. Auburn should have won. And now we got to be careful because I don't know why they're ranked number 4 because they were not good last year, even though they won 10 games. Clemson's up 4. You know, if Clemson goes undefeated, they're in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to, but they were poo ass last year.
Did they lose like their first 5 games or something like that?
Bro, they were terrible. They were
dog shit last year.
No, I'm curious.
Like I know Dabo was in that church every Sunday praying. Like, Jesus, what I do?
Like, yeah, they were. It wasn't. No.
I hope Dabo believes in karma because after he said that, what was it, Ohio State didn't deserve to be ranked 4 or something like that, he really had a shitty football season after that.
So the first game, they were, because we previewed it last year, it was number 2 versus number 5 against Georgia. They lost to Georgia 10-3. And then they lost to North Carolina State. Then they lost to Pittsburgh.
Oh. Yeah, those 3, like those follow-up 2 losses alone, you weren't going nowhere.
Yeah, and then they rattled it off, but yeah, they were out of it they were out of any contention by end of September.
Shit.
So we'll see, man, because like we always say, them SEC teams, if they each have 1, they're gonna be like, oh, and it's the worst when both are undefeated playing in the SEC championship.
Because you know they go and win or lose, they going.
Yep, because they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, Alabama's only loss was to the SEC champ Georgia, or oh my gosh, Georgia's loss was only against the SEC champ Alabama, which happened last year, and then they both made it to the title game.
Yep, which was the wildest thing I've ever seen.
It's not the first time we've had SEC teams in the title game, though.
That's true.
Nope.
So we got to take care of business. The SEC, y'all got to figure. Texas A&M, shock the world, man. Take them both out.
Yeah. I won't say you're our only hope, but
I mean, They are Florida's ass. They don't got Tim Tebow. No, they haven't been good since Tebow left.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
Tebow only taking calls from Urban Meyer right now.
Well, Urban Meyer's back to big noon kickoff, so he's going to be previewing the Buckeye game. I wonder if that's going to be weird, but
I mean, he
Oh my
shouldn't be
God,
allowed.
I just thought of that.
I wonder if he's gonna be like, someone's gonna make the joke, because I would make the joke like, "Sir, are you going to your steakhouse after this is over? You going to your restaurant?"
yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, that's going to be a fun joke. And just another team, too, that anytime Notre Dame is really good, it's dangerous for the Buckeyes and playoff wise, because look at this. Notre Dame, first game, at Ohio State, another ranked team right now, 25 BYU, number 4 Clemson, number 14 USC. Obviously, if they run the table they're in, I don't think they're going to lose to us, but if they beat everyone else and we slip up, it's going to be a good season, man. It all starts.
I love college football.
Week 0 starts this week, and then Buckeyes week 1 on September 3rd, night game, ABC, 20th year anniversary. It's going to be great. Shoot, we'll go into some closing. Cedric, Byron, any last things you want to say before we shut it down?
We're just looking at Notre Dame schedule. That Notre Dame Clemson game.
It's going to be
That's
dangerous.
good. That's going to be good.
I mean, last time
Playoff
they played,
implications.
Notre Dame beat Clemson in that when Trevor Lawrence couldn't play.
Yeah, because he had COVID.
So, anything else y'all want to say before we close it up?
Jim knows I'm rooting for you. CJ Stroud, I'm rooting for you for Heisman. Won the Heisman this year. And Jigba. Let's just get it done, boys. Go win a championship this year.
I like it. Cedric?
And it's good to be back with college football. Sean Wade, I haven't forgotten about you.
Oh, no.
I just saw he had a pick for the Ravens, like the last time they played. Oh, Sean Wade.
Don't tell us preseason pick, because that ain't starting. But let's go, Bucks. Honestly, I'm happy that football's back. I'm so excited for college football to be back. It'd be nice to win a championship. It's been a while. People still hate on us, too. That's the best part. So it'd be nice to win one and remind them, yeah, this is kind of why you hate it.
No. I agree with you, Cedric. I'll lead into my thing. Every great OSU coach at least gets us one. Tressel went to 3 title games. He got us one. Obviously, Woody Hayes got us a couple. Earl Bruce, all of them. Urban got us one. Ryan Day has been to 1. We lost. And Urban only went to 1 national championship in his time, and we won. So I do think it's getting to the point where Ryan's going to be due. I mean, we're not going to have to guard freaking Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle if we play Alabama in the championship game. Thank the Lord. But I think we're due. I think it's time this year we finally capture that title. Like Cedric said, it's been a long time since the Cardell Jones 2014 run of the South against Oregon Mariota. So that was 2014. If you go back before 2014, it was 2002. And if you go back before then, it was a long time. So Cedric's right. We're due. I'm excited to have the weekly Buckeye pods again. These are always a good time. Obviously, I love talking when we win, and I don't like talking when we lose, but it's always entertaining because we do have a whole bunch of people to blame. So that's fun. And then there's the last thing, again, like I'm going to be saying on every other podcast this week. In a couple of days, by the time you listen to this, already have happened, but 2 years of the L7C is going to be on the 26th of August from our very first episode with Mich. So it's crazy that, and lucky enough, founders of the L7C are all on here, that we're about to hit 2 years and starting from small things like a couple hundred. I remember getting excited when we got our first 50 listens, first 100. And now as we're trying to get to our end of year goal 3 months early, and we're on track. So that's a really cool thing to see. And hopefully we can get to that point by the end of September so we can tell y'all. So with that being said, go Bucks. Thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. And we're going to be back reviewing the game. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.